Gentlemen, welcome to the video rendition of the Festus Fantasy Football Forum. This is week 5, and this is actually going to be part 1 of what we're going to be doing this week, kind of switching things up. For this video specifically, we're going to be going over the matchups from week 4 and going over the previews of matchups in week 5 and going over our newly segmented awards along with obviously the primetime matchups and all of the picks for today. So I hope you all enjoy, and let's get right into it here, starting off with the matchup reviews. Okay, starting off, we are going to be jumping into a 2 Girls 1 Cup versus Guardians of Your Mom's House. Previously, this team name was Saquon D's Nuts, now rebranded. This was definitely a very low scoring game, very uneventful, honestly pretty boring. Of all the games this week, 91 points was the lowest win total, 72 was one of the lowest loss totals, obviously. So pretty boring game here, nothing much to really go over besides maybe a couple key points here. Darren Waller is not looking good, and everyone kind of just didn't show up. That is what it is. There's gonna be a lot of those weeks. No one stood out for the Guardians either. Really low scoring, pretty boring game, but let's move on here. The GOAT squad losing to the McAfrican Americans. And obviously there was a big concern for Tyler at the quarterback position. He also had Javonte Williams go down this game, which sucks, as well as Olave and Waddle severely underperforming this week. Olave's usage definitely could be a red flag, but I think Waddle will be fine. For AJ, typical story, live and die by McCaffrey. Today, when you score 40 or 50 points, you're gonna pretty much win every time. Chris Godwin also having a good game. Kyle Pitts, still struggling, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. AJ picking up a big win, and Tyler continuing to slide. Moving on here, let's go to Chubb Checker. Unfortunately, his 4th L of the year to Team Armani. Now, with this game, it looked like Chubb Checker had a great spot to win this game. Big performance from Derrick Henry and a big performance from Devon Achane. After that, it seemed like everything fell apart. I mean, not even 2 points from George Kittle, not even 1 point from Deebo Samuel. From there, at that point, it was pretty much over. And for Tony, he really didn't have to do much whenever you have 2 players not even combined for 3 points. When you have, Swift put up 18, Puka put up 30, at that point, you pretty much have the win sealed. Another big win for Tony, another bad loss for Mez. Moving on here to newly branded Aaron Rodgers Achilles taking down running backs Dom's 2nd straight loss. Josh Allen putting up 36.5 is great. This team finally showed up and clicked on all cylinders. Besides the flexes, actually it's pretty embarrassing how poorly they did. This could have been a huge blowout even if you had just replaced one of them. Aaron Jones did not do anything in his return back to play, and Hawkinson did not do anything as well. Maybe starting to see some concerns with Zay Flowers. We will have to see. I would say maybe 1 or 2 more weeks with him. Obviously great start, not great since. Besides Kyron Williams, his team did not show up. Kamara. With that being said, good win for the Achilles team, and a bad loss, I should say, for the running back team. And so that is going to move us to the best game of the year so far, with Team Doyle, my upset pick of the week, taking down the Little Giants, and by 0.5 points, a half of a point margin here. Intense game. Came down all the way to the last Arizona and 49ers game. I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, waiting for Marquise Brown, as you can see there at the bottom flex position, to get a catch, jet sweep, anything, and it did not happen. Pretty intense stuff. But for Team Doyle, great win. 2 in a row. AJ Brown looks like the real deal finally. Josh Jacobs had a great game. Jalen Hurts is finally connecting with AJ Brown. That stack looks great. Great win on your part. As for the Little Giants here, not a good week. Tyreek Hill unfortunately did not show up, and I think that cost them. The Little Giants take their 1st L of the year. There was no more undefeated teams in the league, and it only took 4 weeks to lose all unbeaten teams. Great win for Colin. Unfortunate loss for Brock. You hate to see that, but my upset pick of the week did come through. Jesus Christ. You guys are fucking blowing my phone up. I don't know if you guys, we're literally talking about, okay, this is funny. You guys are blowing up my phone right now. Okay, here we go. Let's move on to the primetime game of the week. Unfortunately, not a close game, not an intense game, but pretty high scoring. I think the highest scoring so far, which is great. Lamar's backpack looking insanely dominant again. Lamar Jackson, Pacheco, Stephon Diggs, Amon-Ra. And what's crazy is that he had 34 points, a 29-point differential if you take out Mostert, on the bench. So this could have easily been a 60-point win this week. It's an insane team that Jay Gill has going for him here. You know, not much to say. Team Didi kind of just ran into a rocket-powered fucking team. And yeah, I mean, he had some good performances. Some duds, obviously, with his tight end. And this 107 would have won a couple games. And unfortunately, he just had to play Jay Gill this week. Great win for him in primetime. 1-1 this year for Jay Gill in that spot. So that is it for the reviews. Now, I want to move on to our new segment. This was suggested by Colin Doyle, and it is going to be the play of the week and the You Fucked Up award. So basically, the play of the week, I'm going to try and find a play or a substitution resulted in a team to win, and then I'm going to give the You Fucked Up award as a bad substitution. So the opposite. And preferably what costed the team the loss. If I can't find one week, then I'll try and make my best effort to have some sort of narrative, you know, for the team. With this week, let's start off with the You Fucked Up award, graciously going to 2 Girls 1 Cup, Chris's team. He started Jared Goff in the Thursday Night Football slot over Anthony Richardson, and it was an 18-point swing. This would have gotten him to at 90 or a little bit above 90 points, so that definitely cost him in a sense. In a very gettable matchup. And for the play of the week, this was a tough one. There was not a good play of the week that resulted in a clear win. So, as this might be a little bit of a cop-out for the first award of the year, I'm going to give it to the Guardians of Your Mom's House for picking up Jordan Love off of waivers, sitting Deshaun Watson. Now, obviously Deshaun Watson ended up being hurt, but he did not know that going into Thursday Night Football. So, I'm giving the Guardians the award here because they took a chance, they picked up Love, sat Watson just in case, and it ended up working out for them. They got the win for that. Moving forward, obviously, I want to do better. If you have any play ideas, if you have any good moves that you're going to make, let me know, and I will keep my eye on them for this segment. Moving on to Week 5's matchup previews. I'm going to be giving my picks for each game, and we're going to be starting off here with Team Didi taking on the GOAT Squad. Now, early projection totals are favoring the GOAT Squad, which I think was a surprise when I first was looking at this. Team Didi did just make a trade, which will alter the projection totals, which I'll be covering in another video on that trade. But for right now, this is what the lineups look like, and I don't think, honestly, it'll change that much. It's not going to change my pick. Look, I'm going the GOAT Squad here. I think Waddle and Olave are going to have bounce back weeks, and I think Purdy is going to also be a lot safer bet this week than Burrow could be. And as for Team Didi, just no matchups are screaming out to me. You know, I think Drake London and the flex might be a pretty good play this week, but we'll have to see. I don't think it'll be enough. So I'm going to give the first pick of Week 5 to the GOAT Squad. The next matchup, I'm very excited about this one, is Team Doyle taking on Team Armani. Right now, pretty 50-50 in the projection totals, leaning towards Team Doyle. Looking at these starting lineups here, I have some concerns for Team Armani. Now, he's playing Cole Kmet in the flex 2 position. I don't know how that'll be. Hopefully, it'll work out for him. But playing 2 tight ends really doesn't ever work. Just ask Mez. He's done it a couple times. Hopefully getting Saquon back. I don't think he will be returning, and if he does, it will not be to full form. We saw that with Aaron Jones last week. Be very cautious with Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley doesn't play, this is 100% a Team Doyle win. I think I am going to give the edge to Team Doyle. Okay, his team's coming in, you know, pretty healthy. You know, Dameon Pierce has a questionable tag, but it's not because of anything insane. It's just precaution. Jerry Jeudy has a questionable tag as well, but I think just precaution, much like Dameon Pierce. Both teams are coming in, you know, I would say maybe at the same kind of level of health. Saquon obviously changes the effect of that statement, but I'm going Team Doyle here. I think this is a pretty obvious one. Team Doyle is on fire the past couple weeks, and Team Armani, I think he's just due to have a bad game maybe, especially from Puka, because Cooper Kupp's coming back, and we don't know if Saquon's going to play. All these different narratives going on there. So I'm going to go Team Doyle here. to pick up the Week 5 win. Moving on here to Aaron Rodgers' Achilles taking on Chubb Checker. Now, early projection totals heavily favor the Achilles team over Chubb Checker, and I can see why. You're starting Gus Edwards in your RB2 slot and Tyler Boyd in your wide receiver 2 spot, as opposed to a pretty much fully healthy and fully ready to go Achilles team. I think this is pretty set in stone. Miles Sanders has a questionable tag. I think it's just precaution. I don't think he's not going to play. Deebo Samuel for Chubb Checker, I didn't mention this, but he's questionable. He didn't do anything last week, so that is something to keep an eye on before Sunday. With that being said, though, I'm not going to waste anyone's time here. It's going to be the Achilles team. Mez is going to fall to 0-5, and it's unfortunate. I hate saying this. In all fairness, Achilles team is just too powerful for Mez this week. Next, we have Lamar's Backpack taking on Two Girls One Cup. Surprisingly, a 51 to 49% projection chance to win for both these teams. That's insane, considering how good Lamar's Backpack has been and how bad Two Girls One Cup has been. Obviously, that is because the man himself, Cooper Kupp, all-star daughter dater, faithful, all-reliable, is finally returning to the starting lineup, and I think he's going to produce. At least that's what the expectation is. At least 20 points. Now, he did just make the trade with Team Didi, so he's going to be having a couple pieces come over in that deal. I think that only changes Brian Robinson moving, and I don't think that really messes with the projections that much. And I also don't think it really messes with the outlook of this game. I'm actually going to give this win to Lamar's Backpack. Obviously, I think it's going to be a close game. The matchups of Lamar's Backpack versus the star power of Two Girls One Cup, I think I'm going to have to take Lamar's Backpack. They're proven this year, and we just have not seen Two Girls One Cup click yet, at least with this newly formed team. So I'm going to be giving the win to Lamar's Backpack, but hey, don't be surprised if Two Girls One Cup comes out on top. Moving forward, again, we have running backs taking on the Little Giants. Insanely enough, the running backs team has a 60% chance to win over the Little Giants, a 20-point projection total difference, and that is pretty concerning to me, actually. I don't really know why. With the return of Jonathan Taylor this week, they might limit him a little bit, but I think he's going to be good to go, and I think he's going to produce this week. Sitting Christian Watson this week, he's definitely going to be buying into Jonathan Taylor. Now, as for the health of these teams, pretty much healthy across the board. Kyren Williams has a questionable tag. It's just precaution. I think that with the return of all the running backs besides Eckler, this team definitely looks different. They lost last week with all the returns. I'm actually going to give my upset of the week pick right in this game. I'm giving the Little Giants the win over running backs. I don't like the matchups that these running backs have. Tony Pollard against San Fran. Kyren Williams against Philly. On the flip side of that, for their star players like Nico Collins and Jonathan Taylor and Marquise Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs, pretty decent matchups. So Little Giants is getting my upset of the week. And finally, that means that the primetime game of the week this week will be the Guardians of Your Mom's House taking on the McAfrican Americans. Now, these are the only two teams that haven't sent in videos, so that's why I wanted to put these guys in primetime, so then we can get everyone, kind of involved. So, also the first primetime games for both of these teams this year. I'm going to play AJ's video first that he sent in for everybody, just to kind of get the ball rolling. So here is the McAfrican Americans video. Roll the clip.
I got a $100 check from my grandma, and my dad said I need to put it in the bank so it can grow over the years.
Well, that's fantastic. A really smart decision, young man. We can put that check in a money market mutual fund. Then we'll reinvest the earnings into foreign currency accounts with compounding interest, and it's gone.
What?
Okay, hey, thank you, AJ. Obviously, some choice thoughts about being in primetime this week. Listen, the schedule was made before the season started. I have no control. It's just the primetime games. Moving on here, obviously a huge projection total difference. The Guardians having a 60% or over a 20-point projection total, the highest of the week. And that is because the McAfrican Americans have some tough bye weeks this week. Unfortunate bye weeks with DK and Chris Godwin being out. With that being said, as many of us know, the trade with Team Armani will be going through. So that means that Breece Hall will be sliding into a flex spot for the Guardians. With that being said, I don't think that changes much. Tough matchup for McCaffrey going against Dallas. That's really the main concern I'm having. Obviously, Mahomes he'll be fine. You're going against Minnesota. He's probably going to put up 50. Who knows? But when I look at the African Americans, I think, what is McCaffrey going to do? What is his outlook? And he's going against Dallas, which is a tough defense. So I don't think we're going to see a 35+ point performance out of him. I think that with the bye weeks that the African Americans are going to be facing, it's just going to be tough for them. Now, I did get a interview with the Guardians manager, and I'm going to play that for you guys right now. Roll the clip.
Yeah, first primetime game of the year, you got the butterflies going. Being in this position a couple times last year, I kind of know what to expect coming in here. It's probably not going to be the highest scoring game. A lot of primetime games aren't, but, having a game plan against McCaffrey and Mahomes, that's not an easy task to do, trying to take them out of games. So, that's our number one priority. Obviously, we're going to show up. This team is made for the bright lights. We've always been, in good positions, and, we're not shying away from the challenge. Interdivision game, we respect the McAfrican Americans over there. They're a good team, so we're not taking this lightly. But, off to a tough start this year. Everyone kind of writing us off. I think that just adds some motivation to this team, and I don't think you should be giving this team motivation, truthfully. I don't think anybody should be messing around. Time and time again, we've proven that we are not afraid of anybody. We are one of the best teams in the league, no matter what. On paper, on performance, it don't matter. So I just hope everyone's ready. I hope AJ's ready over there for prime time. And I think it's going to be a pretty good show. So yeah, stay tuned. Thanks.
Very well said. He's definitely, great guy. Great guy. What can I say? He's a great guy. With everything being said, though, the Guardians, I have winning this game. Like I said, just unfortunate, matchups for the McAfrican Americans and, dealing with the bye weeks. I just don't, really see a way that the Guardians lose this unless they don't score, 80 points, which is definitely possible. This team can definitely do it, but I don't think that's in store this week. So let me just go over now the wins again. I have the GOAT Squad winning, Lamar's Backpack winning, Team Doyle winning, the Little Giants winning, Aaron Rodgers' Achilles winning, and for primetime, I have the Guardians of Your Mom's House winning. Last week, I went 3-3, moving my season total to 12-12. Hopefully this week, I can go 6-0. That is going to be it for the video today. Be sure to look out for part 2. That'll be the power rankings and the updated trade block. Along with that, I am recording this a little late, so also be on the lookout for the 2 trades that happened. Pretty big moves for 4 teams in the league, so pretty awesome stuff. So be on the lookout. Thank you all for watching. Good luck to everyone in week 5. Yeah. See you guys later.